Have you ever popped into a Starbucks for a cuppa? It's a grand place. But alongside the coffee, there's a real star of the show, the banana bread. It's a lovely slice of comfort, moist and sweet. Imagine making this treat right in your own kitchen. You don't need a fancy machine, just simple ingredients. We can whip up a loaf that's just as good, if not better, than the one you get at the shop. Imagine the smell wafting through your house. It's a project, a bit of an adventure. And the reward is a smashingly good loaf of banana bread. Baking shouldn't be a serious business. It should be a playful mess that ends with something utterly scrumptious. So roll up your sleeves. Let's get cracking on this brilliant banana bread bake. This guide is for everyone. Even if you think you can't bake, I promise you can. We'll take it slow and steady. Each step will be clear as day. We're aiming for a loaf that is wonderfully moist, packed with banana flavor, and has a lovely golden brown top. So, are you ready to begin our grand day out in the kitchen? Splendid! Let's get our aprons on and start our banana bread masterpiece. It's going to be a grand show. First things first, we need to gather our cast of characters. These are the ingredients that will come together to make our lovely loaf. We'll need some all-purpose flour, the building block of our bread. Baking soda helps the bread rise up tall and proud. A pinch of salt wakes up all the other flavors. Then we need our star performers, the bananas. You'll want 3 or 4 very ripe ones. These are the best because they are extra sweet and soft. Now for the rich and creamy Crew unsalted butter, softened to room temperature. Granulated sugar for sweetness, of course. 2 large eggs to bind everything together. A splash of vanilla extract adds a lovely warm aroma. And for an extra bit of texture, we can add some chopped walnuts or pecans. This is optional, but they add a delightful crunch. Think of them as little crunchy surprises hiding inside our soft, warm loaf. Now, our cast is assembled. Each ingredient plays a crucial role in our banana bread adventure. Let's move on to the next step. Alright, let's get to the fun part. It's time to prepare our star ingredient, the bananas. Take your very ripe, spotty bananas. The peel should come off easily. Place the peeled bananas into your bowl. Grab a fork, your mashing tool. Begin to press down on the bananas with the back of the fork. Squish, squash, mash. It's a satisfying job. You can imagine the bananas turning into a lumpy, gooey puddle. Don't worry about making it perfectly smooth. A few little lumps are a good thing. They become little pockets of intense banana flavor in the finished loaf. Keep mashing until you have a texture you're happy with. It should look a bit like a thick, lumpy porridge. The aroma will start to fill the air. That sweet, unmistakable scent of banana. This mashing process is crucial. It breaks down the fruit so it can mix evenly throughout the batter. Once you're done with your mashing, just set the bowl aside for a moment. The banana mash can rest while we get the other parts of our mixture ready. On to the next step of our grand kitchen adventure. Now it's time to assemble the wet team. Grab another large bowl. Into this bowl, we'll place our softened block of butter. Add the granulated sugar to the bowl with the butter. Now we're going to cream them together until they are light and fluffy. You can use an electric mixer or a wooden spoon. The mixture will start to change, becoming pale and creamy. Next, it's time for the eggs to make their grand entrance. Crack them one at a time into a small, separate dish first. Once you have a good, clean egg, let it slide into the butter and sugar mixture. Mix it in thoroughly before you add the next one. Once the eggs are all mixed in, it's time for our mashed bananas to join the fun. Scoop that glorious lumpy banana mash out of its bowl and plop it right into the main mixture. Then add that little splash of vanilla extract. Give everything a gentle stir. We just want to combine everything until it's all one happy, gloopy mixture. The smell in your kitchen should be absolutely divine at this point. Our wet ingredients are now a united team, ready for the next step. Let's move on to the dry ingredients. Now we turn our attention to the dry team. Find a medium-sized bowl for this part of the operation. First, we'll measure out our all-purpose flour. Spoon the flour into your measuring cup and level it off. Pour the measured flour into your bowl. Next, we need to add our rising agent, the baking soda. Measure it out carefully and sprinkle it over the top of the flour. Then, it's time for that pinch of salt. These 3 ingredients, flour, baking soda, and salt, are our dry team. Now take a whisk or a fork. We need to give these dry ingredients a good stir. This is a very important step. We want to make sure the baking soda and salt are evenly distributed throughout the flour. If you're using nuts like chopped walnuts or pecans, now is the time to add them to the dry ingredients. Tossing them in the flour mixture is a clever little trick. Our dry ingredients are now fully prepared and ready to meet the wet ingredients. The grand finale of mixing is just around the corner. This is the moment of truth, the grand union of our two teams. We have our bowl of lovely, gloopy, wet ingredients. And we have our bowl of fluffy, perfectly mixed dry ingredients. It's time to introduce them to each other. Take your bowl of dry ingredients and gently pour it into the bowl of wet ingredients. Now, we need to mix them. But here is the most important secret to a tender, moist banana bread. Do not overmix. We want a soft, delicate crumb. So grab your wooden spoon or a rubber spatula. Begin to fold the ingredients together gently. Use slow, deliberate strokes. Scrape from the bottom of the bowl and fold it over the top. We just want to combine them until the streaks of flour disappear. As you fold, the batter will start to come together. It will be thick and lumpy, and that is exactly what we want. Stop mixing the very second you no longer see any big patches of dry flour. The batter is ready. It should be a beautiful, pale, thick mixture, studded with any nuts you might have added. Your batter is now primed and ready for its final destination, the loaf tin. Our beautiful, lumpy batter is ready for its temporary home. We need a loaf tin. A standard 9 by 5 inch tin is just the ticket. But before we pour our precious batter in, we must prepare the tin. This is a crucial step to make sure our banana bread doesn't stick. So, take a little bit of softened butter on a piece of kitchen paper or with your fingers. Smear it all over the inside of the tin. Once the tin is greased, we're going to give it a dusting of flour. Sprinkle a tablespoon of flour into the buttered tin. Now, hold the tin and tilt it around. Tap the sides to coat the entire inside surface with a thin layer of flour. Your tin is now perfectly prepared, a non-stick haven for our batter. Now for the satisfying part. Take your bowl of banana bread batter and your spatula. Gently scrape and pour the batter into the prepared loaf tin. Once all the batter is in the tin, use your spatula or the back of a spoon to gently spread it out. A gentle smoothing is all it needs. Our loaf is ready for the oven. The moment has come to send our loaf on its hot box adventure. Make sure your oven is preheated to around 175 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Place your loaf tin on the middle rack. Now, the waiting game begins. The loaf will need to bake for about 50 to 65 minutes. During this time, a magical transformation is happening inside that oven. After about 50 minutes, it's time to check for doneness. The best way to check is with a skewer or a long toothpick. If it comes out clean, your bread is done. Carefully take the loaf tin out of the oven using oven mitts. Place the tin on a wire cooling rack. Let the bread cool in the tin for about 10 to 15 minutes. Look at it, a perfect golden brown loaf of banana bread. Patience, my friend, patience. Letting it cool is a very important final step. If you cut it while it's too hot, it can be gummy and might fall apart. Let it sit on the wire rack until it's just slightly warm or has cooled completely to room temperature. Now, how to serve this magnificent creation? A simple, thick slice on its own is pure perfection. For a bit of extra decadence, you can spread a little softened butter on a warm slice. You could also try a dollop of cream cheese, or even a drizzle of honey for an extra touch of sweetness. What if, by some miracle, you have leftovers? Storing your banana bread properly will keep it fresh and delicious. Once it's completely cool, wrap the loaf tightly in plastic wrap or aluminum foil. It will keep at room temperature for about 3 to 4 days. In fact, some people say that the flavor gets even better on the second day. And there you have it. You've gone from a handful of simple ingredients to a stunning loaf of homemade Starbucks-style banana bread. You've mashed, mixed, and baked your way to success. Baking at home is such a rewarding thing to do. It's a bit of science, a bit of art, and a whole lot of love. So go on, cut yourself a thick slice. You've earned it. And don't be afraid to try again, perhaps with chocolate chips next time. The kitchen is your workshop, and you are the inventor. Happy baking. Enjoy every bite.